Discord you can hear, right? I'm hoping YouTube or Discord can hear. We will find out shortly if they can hear. Nope. Discord can't hear. Okay, hang on a second, Discord. Sorry, YouTube, one sec. Actually, YouTube, can you hear? I think Scarlett's being evil again. All right, let's do my iPhone mic. Okay, so Discord, we're doing my iPhone mic. See if that's better. Unstable connection, don't you dare. No. All right, I've got the iPhone. I'm using the iPhone as my microphone now. So, okay. Yep, YouTube. All right, YouTube's good. Discord, how are you now? I've got my iPhone as the microphone. I don't know what same here means, Jeff. Same good, same bad. Sorry, one second, guys. We're having a Discord problem. YouTube is working good. As soon as Jeff tells me which way. Okay, I don't know what that means. That means, can you guys hear? I mean, Jeff goes, same here. I'm like, what does that mean? Okay, Joe Burrito, you can hear. Okay, so Discord people, you can hear or you can't hear. Jeff doesn't hear, but does everybody else hear? Is it just Jeff or is it everybody else? All right, let's see. Okay. Hold on. Let me leave and come back. All right, I'm going to leave and come back Discord because sometimes that helps with the sound. Let's see. Discord, don't be evil. Okay, so YouTube, at least you're good, right? Actually, let's make sure everybody else can hear. YouTube, you can all hear. Yes. Since only 2 of you weighed in. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. All right, there we go. I'm asking all the YouTubers. Okay, that's good. Join stage of the after party. Speak on stage. Turn on camera. All right, now, okay, so everybody can hear on YouTube. That's good. On Discord, can everybody hear or not? Or no? Since they're not typing, that's a bad sign. Or no. If not, I don't know what's going on in Discord. Why Discord's being evil. Pissing me off. All right, sorry, YouTube. Give me a second here. Oh, man. Oh, this is pissing me off. This is so pissing me off. So, all right, so YouTube, Discord is not hearing me then. That's just great. I can try to change the mic setting again, but I don't know why it would. I mean, again, for rest of you are okay. Unstable. I don't know what that's about. It's a Discord error because it's not unstable anywhere else. It's giving me some kind of Discord error here, and I don't know why. Hold on, voice and video. Yeah, John's iPhone input device. John's iPhone. I mean, I will change it to my Scarlett again. Okay, I'm changing microphones. K9 can hear me. Yeah, I don't know what that's about unstable. I don't know what that means. Sorry, YouTube. We're still having issues here. I mean, Discord doesn't usually go bad, but I'm kind of curious about my internet speeds at the moment, although it shouldn't be my internet speed. Oh, this is really pissing me off. So Martha can hear me on everything. Everybody else can't hear me on anything. I'm going to pull up my internet speeds. This has happened, but I think this is a Discord problem, which is pissing me off. And I'm not sure there's anything we can do about it. This has happened before with Discord, where we've had like it acting weird. All right, I'm testing my internet speed right now, but I'm going to guess my internet speed was hopefully pretty good. But again, this is a Discord thing. Let's see. Well, download, we don't care. My upload speeds are what we care about. Although I'm live and streaming already on YouTube. I don't know whether that affects the speed. No. Okay. My download, whatever. We don't care about the download. Let's see what the upload is. No. It's not my internet connection. I've got 70 upload. Yeah, I've got 67 upload, which is fine. Why no TikTok? Because we're spending the last 10 minutes sleuthing here. So, yeah. I'm not sure what to do. Guys, there's Discord's being weird. There's not much I can do. And Syndicate's not going to be live. Let me see if he's there. All right, I just wrote to Syndicate. All right, well, yeah, something's going on here. You know what? Harley and people, anybody who can hear me, explain to folks maybe that if they can't hear, they should try to go to one of the other services. All right, I'm gonna get TikTok going. You know, but maybe whoever can hear me, tell the other ones that maybe they should go to one of the other services for now, because something's going wrong and I just don't know what we can. There's nothing we can do about it. Discord occasionally just melts down, and it's unfortunate, but it does, which is very annoying. Somebody can hear me, right? I thought somebody could hear me, maybe not. Yes, then write and tell everybody, because I'm trying to deal with TikTok now too. Write and tell everybody that anybody that can't hear me, go to one of the other services for now, because it's melting down and there's nothing. YouTube, you're fine. I mean, I can type it too. I'm just trying to get, hey, TikTok. I'm trying to get TikTok going too, and it's confusing now with all three services. Yeah, if you would just try to explain that to people, that there's no more sleuthing we can do. We need Syndicate to come look at this, and I don't even think Syndicate can help, because I think this is the actual yeah. Thank you, Aristide. Hey, TikTokers. Sorry, we're having a little bit of a meltdown problem on Discord tonight. The audio is not working, and I don't know why. Thank you for the gifts there, Pedro. YouTube can hear at least. That's good. TikTok's working for now. Haha. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Adventures. Thank you, Kathy, Courtney, LR2. Yeah, so what do? You know, we try to get Discord working. Arrgh. Let me just leave. Hold on. I'll leave Discord up, but it's having a glitch. Oh, Syndicate is here. Hold on. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. We're dealing with a Syndicate is here, so maybe he can. Although my suspicion is Syndicate's going to look at it and go, you know, it's Discord being goofy. Hey, Hannah. All right. Anyway, guys, welcome. Yeah, Discord's being so weird. I don't know what's going on Discord. Anyway. All right, guys, welcome. So thank you, Bjorn. Thank you, Hannah. So yeah, there's actually a ton of news today. I mean, there's a ton of news. There's a lot of Trump news. We'll start talking about TikTok first, because that's what we do. I type 90 words a minute PC. Thank you, Carol. I'm going to start with TikTok. Then let's get into Trump news. There's a lot of Trump news. Yeah, YouTube should be fine. YouTube, there shouldn't be any problem with the volume. There's a lot of Trump news, and then there's a lot of Ukraine news too today, actually. So I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff across the board. Bonjour, Julian. Thank you, Bryce. Let me start by saying, since we may be losing TikTok in 5 days, we have no idea what's going on. TikTok has not actually been very helpful in this account with letting us know. If you want to keep following my show and keep helping me, please sign up for YouTube. Go over to YouTube and find me there. You can find my YouTube connection via the link in my profile, the Linktree link for you TikTokers. But follow me on YouTube. That's probably the best bet to start with. You also go over to Discord. We are having problems on Discord tonight. Not clear why, but for some reason on Discord, people can't hear me. But on TikTok, we don't know what the hell's going on. As I said, do follow me on YouTube. I would definitely sign up for my Discord community as well. There's also other social media. You might want to follow me on Substack. If I get enough folks on Substack, I will connect Substack to my Discord community as well. It's going to cost me like $50 a month, but it's worth it if people want to do it that way. Anyway, but please do follow me elsewhere, guys, because in 5 days, we could be toast. It may not melt down. We don't have any idea what's going to happen in 5 days, unfortunately. It is possible that TikTok gets banned on Sunday and nothing changes because the app still works. And all it means is you can't download a new app. Or it's possible, I am on Twitter as well, Aravosis on Twitter. Where am I going? Scotland. You may not have heard TikTok is getting banned in America in 5 days. You may have heard. It's kind of been in the news lately. So yes, that is what is going on. I am on Twitch too. Anybody on any of the services, TikTok, YouTube, etc. Go on YouTube, look at the description of today's show. You'll see the link there that has all my social. When you click through on TikTok, if you go to my profile, look at the Linktree link, click it, and you'll see all of my socials as well. All right. I am on Twitter. I'm everywhere. Savoir-faire is everywhere. All right, guys. So there's a ton of news today. TikTok. So really weird story last night. Bloomberg reports last night. This is, it's bad enough having to deal with this TikTok ban and everything else, but there's no way to back up all my videos. There's literally no way to do it, Martin. I'm going to back up 1,000 videos. How am I going to do that? It's a good idea, but there's absolutely no way to do it. So Elon Musk, the Chinese, according to Bloomberg, which is a very credible news source, the Chinese government is talking about selling TikTok to Elon Musk, which would be probably worse than China owning it at this point. Elon Musk is a freaking disaster, absolute freaking disaster. The idea of Elon buying TikTok would be horrific. You would have, thank you, Naisha. The man's a disaster. The man's a mess. The man is now pandering to fascists worldwide. He's promoting fascist governments in the UK and Germany. Haven't seen if he's promoting the fascists in France or not. I'm surprised if he isn't, but maybe he isn't doing that yet. He's obviously promoting Trump and the far right here in America now, and he's using Twitter to do it. And if he uses TikTok to do it too, that will be a freaking disaster. Absolute disaster. YouTube, I'm hoping I didn't freeze for anybody else other than James, although that's scaring me because it is making me worry about my internet if I'm freezing for people on YouTube as well. Absolute disaster here of the Elon thing. Okay, good. It is fine there. Okay, good. All right. I don't know. Anyway, the Chinese aren't saying that Elon's going to buy TikTok, but they kind of like the idea of Elon buying TikTok. And I'm like, I just can't. Okay, good. Glad to hear that for YouTubers. At least that's working okay. And Discord, sorry, like I said, Discord, yeah. Hold on. One second here. Writing a quick little note. There we go for the Discord folks. All right. What else we got? So lots of Trump news today. The special counsel. So the special counsel investigating Trump for the election fraud. The special counsel going after Trump for election fraud. Thank you, Cheryl, for the gifts there. Thank you also, Carla, as well. Released his report today saying that Trump was guilty and that Trump would have been found guilty in a court of law for his election fraud, his election interference. Thank you, Gabs. But he had to drop the case because Trump became president or will become president. And under the current interpretation of the law, thank you, Succeed, or current interpretation of policy, the Justice Department does not indict sitting presidents, which is kind of crazy. Nonetheless, that's what's going on. So Trump is off scot-free. The report was kind of crazy. Listen to this, actually. This was via the New York Times, according to the special counsel. But for Mr. Trump's election and imminent return to the presidency, the office assessed that the admissible evidence was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction. Thank you, Bobby, for the gift. Per the New York Times, in his report, Mr. Smith took Mr. Trump to task not only for his efforts to reverse the results of a free and fair election, but also for consistently encouraging violence against his perceived opponents throughout the chaotic weeks during between the election and January 6th. Mr. Smith laid the attack, the January 6th insurrection that Trump incited, squarely at Mr. Trump's feet, quoting from the evidence in several criminal cases of people charged with taking part in the riot who made clear that they believed they were acting on Mr. Trump's behalf. Another officer recalled rioters trying to beat up the police with such ferocity and wondering, what are they going to do to somebody else that's in there? What the police is talking about is the rioters were so bad, thank you, Moon, for the gift, so bad and so violent against the police that the police were actually worrying about what the rioters would do once they got in the building, if they found members of Congress, if they found the vice president. And that's the concern a lot of folks have. Thank you, Succeed. Fire. Thank you. In any case, Trump. So Trump also tweeted today. He's doubling down. Trump is doubling down on increasing tariffs, which is going to increase inflation, increase prices. Thank you, Big Hawk. And again, congratulations, everybody who voted for Trump. When you vote for people who don't understand what's going on, and like Trump does, this is what you get. You're going to get higher prices. And Trump just promised it today. He's actually going to set up a new department that's going to be in charge of raising tariffs on everything imported into the United States, he said. Yeah, guess what happens when tariffs, I mean, it drives me nuts that I have to explain this to anybody, but when you raise prices on tariffs, you are raising prices on goods coming into the US, and those goods cost more. So your iPhone is going to cost more. Your refrigerator is going to cost more. Okay? Lumber for your house is going to cost more. Your car is going to cost more. Like a third of the cars coming to the US are actually assembled in Mexico. They're going to put tariffs on those. Okay? Now, what Trump argued today, he's going to literally set up a new department that is going to be in charge of taxing everything coming into the US, he said. That means he's going to increase the price of everything coming into the US, and he's going to increase inflation for everything coming into the US. And again, folks, these are not luxury. This isn't French cheese. We're talking cars, phones, washing machines, right? Washers, vacuum cleaners, everything that is assembled abroad, Trump is going to increase taxes on now. Congratulations. I mean, it boggles my mind. And the thing, what's really disturbing is Trump wrote about this today, tweeted about today. And he said, we will be charging those that make money off of us with trade. Donald Trump thinks that trade is unfair when we buy more from other countries than they buy from us. I mean, it reminds me of the drug problem to some degree. I mean, I got news for you. If we're buying too much from other countries, that's our fault. That's not their fault, right? We're buying stuff from other countries because we want it. We are buying phones, Apple's iPhones that are assembled in China because we want an iPhone. That's not China's fault. That's my fault if I'm getting a new iPhone, right? If you're buying a car, and even your American car, a lot of them are assembled in Mexico. That's your fault. I mean, it's not, of course, it's not your fault at all. There's nothing wrong with you buying an American car that happens to be assembled in Mexico. But what Trump is saying is, if you buy anything from that comes from another country, that is wrong, and he's going to punish you. And he's going to punish you by raising the prices on those products through tariffs. That is going to cause massive inflation. All the experts have said it's going to cause massive inflation, and it's going to increase the prices of everything in America. Congratulations. Trump will not let the flags remain at half-mast, or half-staff, I should say, during his inauguration. So Trump finally won this victory. He complained about a week or so ago. Trump was very upset. Jimmy Carter, one of our former presidents, died. Thank you, Carmelina. Trump was not upset that Jimmy Carter died. Trump was upset that in America, when a president dies, I think probably a lot of countries around the world, right? When a president dies, we put the flags at half-staff. So the flags come halfway down for 30 days when a president dies, because it's such a big deal that a president died. Well, Jimmy Carter died like 2 weeks ago. The flags are at half-staff for another 2 weeks. Trump got upset about that because Trump doesn't want the flags at half-staff during his inauguration next Monday, because that'll take attention away from him. People will look at the flag and they'll go, why is the flag at half-staff? Oh, because President Carter died. And then they'll be talking about President Carter and not President Trump. So Trump has convinced the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to put the flags back to normal for Inauguration Day. So the day of Trump's inauguration, the flags are going back to normal. And the next day later, they'll go back to half-staff to recognize Carter again. This is, it's so immature of Trump. It's so babyish. It's so petulant. It is also really horrific He's not just, I mean, he's a child. He is a child. And it says horrible things about him as a person. Again, he's upset that Jimmy Carter is going to get attention. The man's dead. Like, give him a break. Donald, you're going to be president on Monday. I think you won. Jimmy Carter's gone, right? I mean, you won. You don't need to prove to everybody you're the guy. You're the guy. You're going to be president. What is really gross about this is, again, breaking the norms, violating the traditions. The American tradition is to honor our fallen presidents. We put the flags at half-staff, right? I don't like Donald Trump. He's a horrible human being. When he dies, we're going to have to put the flags at half-staff because that's what you do, even though he doesn't deserve it. That's what you do, right? It is part of our cultural tradition. It is part of honoring our presidents. This man doesn't believe in tradition. He doesn't believe in American values. He doesn't believe in doing the things that Americans are supposed to do. Again, what our government is supposed to do. It's just, it's really bad. I mean, this is just really bad. And it is part of degrading the culture. It's part of, degrading who we are as a people. And it's just, again, I don't know. I mean, I do know we're going to be talking about this kind of stuff every day for the next 4 years. We're going to talk about how Donald Trump is making our country coarser and worse and more kind of angry and evil and disgusting and cheaper. And that's what he does. What else we got? Oh, yeah. So another Trump story today. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. So this is what he did today. This is what what else Trump did today. This is all just Trump news today. Trump says he's going to take away the free speech, or wants to take away the free speech rights of TV comedy shows. He wants to charge or something television, like fine television stations that have comedians who criticize him, who make fun of him. Thank you, Jorge. Donald Trump, right? One of the big things Republicans claimed about this election, which was bullshit, but they claimed it, was that they were going to be defending free speech. This was going to be defending, Donald Trump was going to, remember, Elon Musk was going to come in and be the big free speech guys. Trump is now talking about punishing TV stations that have comedy shows with comedians that make fun of him. He said that today. Thank you, Noel. I'm going to read this to you. Again, it just boggles the mind. He says, how bad is Seth Meyers on MSNBC, on NBC? Seth Meyers is an American comedian who runs one of the comedy shows at night. Thank you, Randy Fred. Thank you, Luzma. How bad is Seth Meyers? I got stuck watching Marble Mouth Myers the other night. The first time in months. And every time I watch this moron, thank you. Thank you, Ava. Appreciate that. Every time I watch this moron, I feel an obligation to say how dumb and untalented he is. Merely a slot filler for the scum that runs Comcast. Comcast is the company that owns the TV network. These guys should be paying a lot of money for the right to give these in-kind contributions to the radical left Democrat Party. These are not shows or entertainment. They are simply political hits 100% of the time to me and the Republican Party. Here's the big quote. Comcast should pay a big price for this. Donald Trump is threatening a television network in America because they've got a comedy show, and the comedian on the comedy show told a joke Trump didn't like about himself. This is what they do in dictatorships. This is not what you do in America. It's not what you do in a democracy. It is what you do in a country where you refuse to put the flag at half-staff for a deceased president because you have such an insecure ego. That's what you do. But again, we're going to keep talking about this because the Republicans love to talk about free speech. It's bullshit. Elon likes to talk about free speech and then he bans people, right? Elon Musk is doing the same thing. Elon Musk keeps talking about going after everybody for things they say, and then he talks about how he's for free speech. Trump loves to talk about free speech. He doesn't want free speech. He wants to censor people. And he's talking now about censoring TV networks that have comedy shows that criticize him. Thank you, Sarah. Really kind of terrifying that Trump said this today. Elon. So Elon Musk is in some trouble too. Musk is in trouble because apparently, and again, let's talk about the childish, really the childish damaged egos that these guys have. Thank you, Randy. Elon Musk is arguably the richest guy in the world, right? A lot of people look up to him. A lot of us don't look up to him, but a lot of people look up to him. Thank you, Randy Fred, for the gifts. Keep the gifts coming, guys. Well, Elon apparently reportedly was so worried about his image. Mind you, he's the richest guy in the world, but so worried about his image that Elon allegedly, this is what people are alleging now. Thank you, Sarah. They're claiming that Elon hired some kid to play a computer game, or it's actually like an Xbox game, Diablo 4, but basically a computer game. Thank you, Running. Thank you, Max. So that he hired the kid to play the game and hired like a kid who's really good at it, so that Elon could claim he's one of the best players in the world. Thank you, Max. Elon now is claiming he's one of the top 20 players in the world for this video game. And again, he did it because he's trying to claim that he's trying to, because he's, I guess, insecure about himself. Well, the problem is, and of course, Elon screwed up here because it's Diablo 4, because Elon doesn't actually play the game. Elon doesn't understand how the game works. So he was in like this big public conversation about it, and people were talking about it. But the problem is, if to attain the status Elon has attained in the game of being one of the top 20 players, you have to play a minimum of 60 hours a week of this game, 60. And obviously, Elon is not playing this game 60 hours a week, 60, right? He doesn't have the time. But he doesn't play the game, they say, so he doesn't realize that claiming he was one of the top 20 players requires you to play 60 hours a week, because you can't attain that status without it. Even better, he then gets on this public chat, I think probably on TikTok and on Twitter, and in the chat is talking about the game. And again, anybody who plays Diablo 60 hours a week, thank you, LWD, is going to know the game inside out. He played a computer game 60 hours a week. Elon was screwing up the discussion of the game because he clearly didn't know the game. I mean, so the gamers are pissed at him now, absolutely pissed at him. Actually, there was a guy, I'm going to read this to you, actually. There was one gamer earlier that I thought was a very interesting, let me read this to you. I thought it was very interesting because, again, this is like when you talk about Trump. You know, on its face, some of this stuff is just, stupid and silly, but it tells you so much of who these guys are. It tells you more. Listen to this guy, Doug Polk, who's got like 180,000 Twitter followers. It's pretty good. Listen to what he wrote. I thought the way he wrote it was very interesting. I have historically been an Elon fan, and I think a lot of anti-Elon media has been unfair and or misleading. He has created a lot of good for society. But this story where he lied about being a top 20 gamer, where he had someone leveling his account, is hitting me hard. As a gamer, you have a lot of pride in your rank and level, meaning how high your character in the game, the success you achieve. Trying to fake that while also being the richest guy in the world is just so absurdly sorry, I'm like burping here. Trying to fake that while also being the richest guy in the world is just so absurdly unnecessary. I would say it also makes me wonder, if Elon is willing to lie about this, what else is he willing to lie about? I thought that was a fascinating point, right? If you're going to lie about something so stupid as this, what else are you lying about? It might seem trivial to many, but for the other people out there who have been competitive gamers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I just thought that was very interesting because A, about what else is Elon lying about, but B, it was also interesting to me because of the notion of he's the richest guy in the world, but he had to go and hire some kid or something to play a computer game to get him a big rank because he thought he needed to do that to be, to be cool or something, because being the richest guy in the world isn't enough. I'm just, it's just, yeah. Anyway, but again, it reminds me like talking about Trump to some degree when you get into the Elon stuff, it's very interesting. Rednote. Oh, so this was kind of funny too. So yesterday I had to ban the word Rednote from Twitter, from TikTok, actually. Thank you, Jeremy, because we were being spammed left and right. Rednote, I think, may have, I don't know, let's just say very suspiciously. Thank you, Suma. So Rednote is a social media platform like TikTok. And yesterday, for the first time, very suspiciously in my view, I'd never heard of Rednote before. Yesterday, spamming my comments on TikTok, actually not on Twitter. On TikTok, everybody in my comments on the live, everybody in our comments on my videos is saying, oh, you should go to Rednote. You should go to Rednote. You should go to Rednote. To me, it looked suspicious. To me, it looked like somebody maybe was having trolls go, maybe even paying them to go and talk about you, because I'd never heard about Rednote before. Well, I said, that this gets, bottom line is Rednote's in trouble now for banning LGBT content. Surprise! Rednote is a Chinese company. Rednote's a Chinese company. Thank you, Super Hornet. People are insane. They're absolutely insane. I said people were insane. We're leaving TikTok because TikTok is a Chinese company that's about to be banned for being Chinese. And your solution to that is that we should move over to a Chinese company, right? I should go to a Chinese company and build a whole new, I've got 600, almost 700,000 followers here on TikTok. I should spend my time building a new following on another Chinese company? Do you people not understand that Rednote is going to get banned by the government? Rednote already falls under the ban. All the president has to do is name Rednote and they will be banned. Now, this actually kind of makes me laugh. It's a protest. It's a protest. No, it's not a protest. That's the new talking point that came up in the last hour. It's not a protest. People yesterday were telling us to join. It's not a protest. People were telling us to join. People said, go there instead of TikTok. That's what they said. Okay. This was not create an account. Okay, I got to ask people, I'm sorry, because this just seems incredibly goofy to me. So in protest, you want me to go over to Rednote and create an account and spend hours every day that I do doing this full time to create a new audience on Rednote that then's going to get banned because they're a Chinese app. Seriously, somebody explain that to me. Why should any of us go to Rednote? Not to mention, I'm not the only one getting screwed. All of you are getting screwed too. You're all going to go to Rednote and you're going to spend time creating an audience for it to get banned? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That just sounds idiotic to me, right? And people aren't saying just create an account. They're saying go there and use them instead of TikTok. That's just incredibly, I'm sorry, but that's incredibly stupid. I mean, I don't mean to be rude to people, but it's just incredibly dumb. Feel free to create an account. Now, you want to create an account because they're being anti-gay and you want to post gay stuff, go ahead. But if you think that anyone, you guys are missing the point entirely. Okay, I'm gonna get this straight with people. Okay, I want to get this straight. Thank you, Brishka. No, I want to hear from, because the TikTokers are kind of freaking out here. Okay, I want to hear from everybody on TikTok. Are you not saying that people should go there and build up an audience? Are you not saying that? Are you not saying that? Okay. Are you? No, I don't want. I want to hear from people on YouTube. So you're saying just create the account. You're saying don't actually go there and post videos. Don't actually build an audience. Okay. Do you guys realize all the spam comments from yesterday were about going there and building the audience? Everyone did not say go there for protest and create an account in order to piss them off because they're anti-gay. That's not what happened. Yesterday, everyone told us go to Rednote and use them instead of TikTok because they're the good one to go to. Okay. Well, who cares? I don't know. I kind of care because we're going to be banned in 5 days and we all have to decide where to go. Like, kind of matters, you know? Hold on. What's this? Smug Chipmunk? The whole policy you need to agree to is only in Mandarin? Oh, man. Oh, in Mandarin. Oh, the policy is written in Mandarin? So you don't know what you're agreeing to? It's anti-LGBT in politics also? Well, Clapper's funny. People are saying Clapper too. Clapper's very funny because I'm happy to create an account on Rednote, but I won't be doing jack shit on there because it's a Chinese company and I'm not going to have it get banned too. But Clapper, I decided to create an account on Clapper because everyone's talking about Clapper. I then started getting videos. When you create an account, all the videos were bad, like blue collar sex jokes. It was the weirdest freaking thing. It was these cheap videos. And they were all gross sex jokes. Like, I mean, I'm afraid because TikTok is so weird about stuff, I'm afraid of even explaining what the videos were. Like, a girl gets on the floor on her knees in front of her boyfriend. Like, okay, I won't go any farther than that. And the father walks in the room and the boyfriend pretends like he's blessing her. It's church. And the father gets on his knees and he blesses him too. Every episode was, every video popping up was about sex. Some girl hitting on some guy at the gym and like, but in a really gross way with like talking about her boobs or something. And I mean, and I'm literally going, okay, so we first had a BJ video, then I had a boob video. I mean, it wasn't a matter of Clapper allowing everything. That's all I was getting. That's all I was getting on Clapper were the weird boob videos and stuff. It was totally bizarre. Absolutely totally bizarre. It was totally degrading. It was ugly. I mean, no, it was gross. That's the other thing too. It was gross, but it was also like fourth grade. It was like, okay, it was like Elon Musk humor. That's the best way to describe it. The kind of, because Elon will literally post boob jokes and stuff on Twitter. I kid you not. Elon posts boob jokes. He really does. It's disgusting. So yeah, Clapper, that was really weird. But as I said, Rednote, if you want to go create an account just because they're being anti-gay and you want to like be pro-gay or whatever, that's great. But we should not be suggesting people go there and build followers and build an audience because they're a Chinese company and they're going to be banned. And if we're going to be banned from TikTok because they're Chinese, we should not be moving to a Chinese company in terms of building followers. That we should not do. That we should not. That's why that is my criticism. Well, Rednote, I'm not too thrilled if they're anti-gay either or anti-trans, but also we should not be telling them. We should not be going there and building a follower because they're going to get banned. They're a Chinese company. They're going to be banned. What's left is Lemonade's Chinese as well, Rach. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. No, I think you're missing the point, Marmac. I just said, if you are going to Rednote to create a following, then you're doing it wrong because they're a Chinese company and you're going to screw yourself over. Because we just got banned on TikTok. We're going to lose. We may lose TikTok in 5 days. Yes, they're banning Chinese apps now. Where have you guys been? Where have you been? No, I'm really not understanding this from folks. Not all of them. More to come. More if Rednote is successful, guys. Okay, TikTok. Here's the problem. I mean, again, maybe fair enough. People may not be familiar with this. TikTok isn't getting banned because TikTok did something. TikTok didn't do anything. TikTok is being banned because it's a Chinese company. That's it. TikTok didn't do something. It's not like, oh, Rednote and Lemonade, the other Chinese companies, are okay because they didn't do what TikTok did. TikTok didn't do anything. They're being banned because they're Chinese. And the Communist Party of China has control over companies because it's a dictatorship. That's the problem. That's the problem, right? I mean, and again, I'm not saying it's justified because I don't want to ban TikTok. I don't want TikTok to go away, right? But but literally, okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of enjoying this I don't know, mods, just kind of mute people today because seriously, if people are going to say it's wrong, really, Congress isn't banning TikTok because the parent company is Chinese. That's not why they're banning TikTok. Well, I got news for you guys. That's why they're banning it. They may be wrong. They may be unjustified. But if you think that's not what's going on, that the excuse they're using is because it's Chinese, then I got news for you. You might want to do some Googling. All right. No, I'm kind of like, people are being very, you know what it is actually too. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of new people today. That's why. Yeah, no. Looking at the numbers of people, we've got a lot of new people. That's why. So yeah, I mean, no, Congress is alleging that the security issue, well, actually, I mean, the security issue is twofold is what people are saying. Again, I don't want TikTok to be banned, right? I'm very happy to have TikTok, have TikTok stay around because this is what I do full time. But what they're alleging is that twofold, that the Chinese Communist Party will have access to our data and somehow be able to use this against people. I'm not quite sure how. And honestly, our data is already being used and abused by companies. Every company in America is abusing our data, right? Every company around the world is abusing our data. That's the first problem. The second thing, and this one gets a little more difficult. The Romanian presidential election just got thrown out because the Russians used TikTok to steal the election. That's what the Romanians alleged, and it is what the highest court in Romania found to be the case. They threw out the presidential election in Romania because the Russians used it to steal the election. That is a real concern as well. And of course, it doesn't help that it actually literally just happened. That's a little scary. So yeah. Oh, hey, Yulia, you picked a fun time to come in. Lot of crazy people here today. Lot of crazy people. Oh, man. Oh, man. Anyway, Google the story about Romania, guys. If you want to know more, the story's there. I mean, literally, they threw out the election. Google it, and you'll see there's a lot of other. Yeah, run, Yulia, run. Yeah. Oh, hey, MB. I don't know. Well, I think today TikTok, for some reason, is sending people here today, but of course, they're sending all the angry people. So, we do, Rob, but what are you going to do? I know, Jason, it is. Thank you, Carl, for the gift. Yeah, I know. Well, who knows who the bots are today? It's not all bots. Some were real people, but in any case. So yeah, shall we move on to Ukraine and Russia? Beep. What are we chatting about, Jasmine? Well, it depends. Right now, we're about to chat about Russia trying to blow up American airplanes. That was kind of fun. Really big story in the New York Times today. And this is a story we heard about before, but it's actually really scary. The stuff that just came out here. And the Russians basically Russian intelligence went through a very detailed campaign of practicing blowing up American commercial airliners, American package delivery like DHL type planes. And the Russian intelligence basically perfected. We intercepted communications between Russian intelligence officers when they were basically scheming and blowing up bombs on planes in order to perfect how to blow up American, and they wanted to go after American and Canadian airplanes. Thank you, Eileen. Let me read this to you, because this was in the New York Times today. I'm going to read you several paragraphs. It's pretty freaking freaky. Listen to this. In a series of Situation Room briefings, President Biden's top aides reviewed the details of conversations among top officials of the GRU, Russia's military intelligence arm, who were describing shipments of consumer products that burst into flames. In one case, a small electronic massager. They called it a test run, the Russians did, right? Blowing up these things. Oops. Stop that. Once the Russians understood how the packages made it past air cargo screening systems and how long they took to ship, the next step appeared to be sending these bombs on planes bound for the United States and Canada, where they would trigger fires once they were unloaded. So the idea was they set bombs, and the Russians already did set bombs off hang on, let me tell you this. They set bombs off in Leipzig, East Germany at a DHL facility. They set a bomb off a package that was, a package that was postmarked from Lithuania. Another one went off in Birmingham, England. A third burst into flames at a Polish courier firm. They intercepted the Russians talking about it, saying they did it on purpose. They were practicing because they wanted to basically figure out exactly how it worked so they could have the packages arrive in America and arrive in Canada and then blow up inside the U.S. to take the war in Ukraine to American and Canadian shores. They wanted to set off bombs in our country, guys. What freaked out the Biden administration was passenger planes also carry cargo. What the Russians were planning on doing was potentially setting off bombs in U.S. and Canadian, not even U.S. and Canadian, in passenger planes coming to the U.S. and Canada. The Biden administration freaked out. Now, I will say this. They freaked out and then, you know what, dude? You're leaving now. Bye. What the Biden administration did was they told the Russians in no uncertain terms, if you do this, right, we will treat you as basically having committed an act of terrorism. But that's all they said. They didn't actually explain what they would do or how serious it was. This is really screwed up, guys. This is really, really screwed up. I mean, it's literal acts of terrorism by the Russians, and that they were trying to set off bombs inside the United States and inside Canada. And again, already did it in England, in Germany, and in Poland. I mean, really. And the thing is, Jason's saying low volume war. I'm not even sure this is a low volume war. You set off a bomb in the United States that is meant to blow up a commercial, either airline, a cargo plane, or is meant to blow up on DHL employees at a DHL office, that's an act of war. That's not just an act of terrorism. They were putting the bombs in products that they would then mail. and then they would set it off, like they would figure out how to set the bombs off remotely. Really, I mean, this is just, we knew about this. We knew the Russians were doing this kind of thing, but to read about it in detail, and basically now we've got the proof. Not now, the proof has finally been made public. They had the proof months ago that Russian military intelligence folks were discussing the plot and saying that the first series of bombs that went off in England and Poland and in Germany were test runs so they could test how long it takes and when the bomb would go off so they could perfect it. Wow. Really, really freaking crazy. Yeah, that may be a nuance without, oh, hello, Flower Lady. That's kind of funny. I've not seen that before. The umbrella of love. We could use a little love today. Thank you for that. Gunther said, are they blowing up or catching fire? I would argue that's a nuance without a difference because at least the one in Germany, I think it was, with DHL, I think it was Germany, the DHL one, although they may have all been DHL, they were using some kind of incendiary, it wasn't phosphor. What the hell was it? It was some kind of incendiary thing, chemical that would burn at such a high rate that they said it was enough to take down an airplane. They said if the plane, thermite, some folks are saying, 710 is saying, that if the plane went off, if the fire went off over the Atlantic, they said it likely would have taken the plane down. So, I mean, it's interesting question as to whether they were using a bomb or a device that catches fire. Either way, I'm not sure it makes a difference. Oh, here we go. Actually, you know what? Listen, we got the details from the New York Times. I didn't read the whole article to you guys because it's a long article. Listen to this. The Russians said the 3 incendiaries were intended to scope out how DHL and other packages flow so that the ignition of a highly flammable magnesium-based material could be precisely timed to catch fire. The conversations indicated that the next step was to get them on airplanes going to the United States and Canada. So yes, so they were incendiary devices. They were magnesium-based, intended to catch fire. So yes, good question. I say no difference, meaning it doesn't change what the plot is. Causing a massive fire on an airplane is the same problem. Thank you, Jesse. Whew, man. Yeah, the problem was they said that they're worried about these things catching fire over the Atlantic as well. Where can you follow me after the ban? YouTube would probably be number 1. If you go to my profile on TikTok, look at the Linktree link, and you will see my social for YouTube and a bunch of other places. Discord would not be a bad idea. We're having some issues today with sound on Discord, although I'm seeing 12 of you left on Discord. Is that to mean that you guys can actually hear me? The 12 of you on Discord? Tell me, please. That would be nice if you can. But YouTube is a good place to follow me right away because I will continue to do my show on YouTube. Continuing to beam my show to my Discord community. The ban is real, Patrick. Yeah, I mean, what we don't know yet. So that's it for the bomb story. What we don't know yet is how the ban is going to. Thanks, Blue Sky. Is going to impact TikTok immediately. We don't know whether TikTok will be like banned immediately or whether it's going to take weeks or months for a ban to actually happen, because at least initially what we think is going on is that the TikTok app will be banned in the Google and Apple app stores. That will make it impossible for you to download the app because it won't exist anymore. It will make it impossible for you to update the app, right? Like when the operating system of your phone changes and you need an update to the app to make it work or make it work better, those will not exist anymore. But in principle, and this is next Sunday, this happens in 5 days. In principle, the app should still work if it's already, if it's, first of all, only in the US. Jorge made a good point. Thank you, Jorge. And by the way, this is a bipartisan bill. Somebody's saying Democrats voted for it. This was bipartisan. Donald Trump tried to ban TikTok 3 times when he was president, 3 times. This bill was wildly populated with Democrats and Republicans. I would say it's actually more popular with Republicans than Democrats because Republicans hate China. Democrats are no great friend of communist China, but the Republicans hate them viscerally. Now, I'm not getting into the validity of that, by the way. But so the issue becomes, come Sunday, from what we know, we think the app will be banned in the App Store. It will disappear, but it's not going to remove the app from your phone or your iPad in principle. So the app should still work on your iPhone and your iPads, supposedly. So, I mean, that's sort of the question. I mean, that's the question. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we don't. So it's possible, for example, that the ban happens and we're able to use TikTok for weeks to come or months to come. It's possible. If you get a new phone, you might have an issue. Although even with a new phone, think about, with a new phone, it's possible that a new phone might be able to download, like for in other words, your backup, your iTunes backup, or I should say maybe not iTunes anymore, whatever the backup is on Apple, right? That may be able to reinstall the app because it's your backup of the app. It's not an app coming from the App Store. Funny Tech Guy says it will work until TikTok changes the API between the app and the servers. When would they do that? Like, under what circumstances would they do that? Are you saying changes the API? Yeah. I'm just curious. What are you like? Although it's, Little Red saying it would happen immediately. It's actually, and one of the things that gets confusing too is, can you still buy gifts? You can't buy the money on your computer, right? You wouldn't be able to. I almost shut you guys down for a second. Sorry about that. But the question becomes, would you hang on? Yeah. The question becomes, would you, if you buy coins on an iPad or an iPhone, the coins for buying TikTok gifts, those go through the App Store, I think. That probably wouldn't be allowed, I would think, right? It gets very weird. It gets very weird. Now, the videos I do on TikTok, those I think go through Stripe or something else. So actually, that's a question too. I don't even know how that would work as far as the payment systems for us, right? I'm guessing it. I don't know. I don't know whether it would be no more gifts. As Eileen just said, so much is unclear. We just don't know. Now, JR, interesting question. I mean, JR was saying that the law says they can't distribute the software. So the interesting thing would be if they're still allowed to process payments, right? As Jess just said, by the way, you should be buying the coins on TikTok's website. That is true. It's a lot cheaper. When you buy the coins for gifts and stuff using your iPhone or your iPad, you're paying like a 30% premium to cover the App Store costs. So whenever you buy, we should probably remind people of that more often. Whenever you're buying coins on TikTok to give gifts and stuff, you should always do it on a computer. If the video and the sound is out of sync, leave and come back. It's probably on your end. Probably. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. It's absolutely, no, I mean, this is kind of crazy. In any case, all right, let's up. All right. Let's do some of the Ukraine news that we backed up here too. Well, I can't help it if I'm out of sync, guys. Nothing I can do. Because I left it because it stopped all of a sudden. That's really weird. Yeah, there's nothing I can do, guys. I'd have to cancel the live, and I'm not going to do that. So sorry about that. But what do you do? Just don't look at my lips. Don't look at my lips. Don't do it. I don't think that. Hold on a second. Can I pause the live? I think you can pause a live, can't you? That's a good idea, actually. Let me see if there's a way to pause the live. I can pause live. Your live will freeze after you pause. You can pause up to 6 times, 5 minutes each time. 5 minutes? I don't want to pause 5 minutes. Okay, here's the danger. If I pause, it may pause for 5 minutes. Yeah, I know you guys are okay. YouTube, give me a second. It may pause for 5 minutes. Let me risk pausing for 5 minutes. If let's hope it doesn't make me wait 5 minutes. I'm going to try to come right back. All right. Pause. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Oh, it doesn't make me pause for 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to start TikTok again. Let's see what happens. Resume. All right, TikTok. Did it work or not? We're trying to get TikTok working because it was off. It was out of sync. All right, so how is it now? Is it in sync now? It got worse. All right, so I don't. It's the same. Yeah, nothing we can do then. This is a TikTok glitch. Funny, TikTok's already having a glitch. That's bad. Exactly. Don't. All right, I'll talk like this for TikTok. I'll talk so you guys can't see my lips on TikTok. La 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 la. I'll be like a tittering. Ooh. You can't see me. I'm giggling. Oh, it's worse now. That's very funny. You're right. I got to, or we'll just kind of like have the goat in front of my mouth. So when I talk here for TikTok, I'm gonna like have the goat hide my mouth. Here we have the goats behind hide my mouth. There we go. La la la. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That's really bizarre. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it, guys. Nothing we can do about it. Muting the mic. I don't think I can mute myself. I think that's the only options we have is the delay. Oh, mute the microphone. Okay. All right. I'm muting my microphone. This is for YouTube again. For Discord, I mean. For Discord. If I can speak it for TikTok. All right. Now I'm unmuting my microphone. Did that get it back? Did that get it back? Or is it probably the same thing? It's getting worse. That didn't do it. Yeah, I'm just a little afraid of stopping and coming back because we're going to lose everybody. I mean, is it okay? Last question is it that annoying for TikTok that I should just kill the live and start a new one? We lose a lot of people. You know, it's up to you guys. And remember, yes and no. I don't know what. So no means don't worry about it. Dumpster fire. Was that Trash Panda? Was that a dumpster fire, Janice? Okay. No means don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, then I won't worry about it. All right. All right. Exactly. Don't look at my lips. All right. Ukraine had one of its largest drone and missile attacks, including ATACMS missiles against Russia last night, targeting Russian industrial facilities, oil and ammunition depots, and airports. Over 100 drones were reportedly used, attacking 12 regions inside Russia. 65 Russian oil tankers, have paused operations in various places around the world after the U.S. and U.K. Put sanctions on the Russian oil industry. This is something I was talking about that's kind of annoying to me because why is it that, like, why did we wait until the week before Trump comes to power to put really effective sanctions on the oil industry in Russia? Why didn't we do it earlier? Right? I mean, anyway, thank you, Jessica. It kind of annoys me a little bit, I have to say. Thank you, Jessica. And by the way, guys, please do follow me on YouTube. It's John Aravosis DC. Maybe one of the mods can put my name up there too for YouTube. But do follow me on YouTube because we may be gone in 5 days. I hope not. I'm going to keep trying to broadcast on TikTok, but who the hell knows? You know. Well, that's my guess, Mellow Man, is trying not to disrupt the oil supply might be why Biden waited. The only thing is it because he's assuming that Trump is going to reverse it as soon as he starts? You know, the YouTube is John Aravosis DC. You can find it in my bio on TikTok. Go to my profile, look at the Linktree link and click it. And one of the things that pops up is YouTube. So you can find all of my socials there. YouTube is probably the best place. That is not Manda. Nope. That is not my YouTube. Thank you, though. So it's John Aravosis DC. Yes, that is not my YouTube. But thank you. You tried. So yes, what Manda wrote, but with the word John in front of it, John Aravosis DC. That's what you've used. Oh yeah, that's not it. That ain't it. Thank you, Flower Lady, for the gift. Thank you, Diana. All right, little more. So this was interesting too. And again, to give you the sense of what's going on with Russia, another Indian volunteer has died in the Russian military, and another one has been injured. The Indians demanded, like, I don't know, 8 months ago, that the Russians release all the Indians in service in the Russian military, because Russia got into a lot of trouble with India and a lot of countries because they have been tricking and basically kidnapping men from developing countries to oh, hey Tony, good to see you. Yay, we got a new name over at YouTube. Woo woo. This is really disgusting. We know from these stories that, like, in the Indians case, a bunch of Indian men went to Russia for New Year's. Again, bad move. New Year's of a year ago, and the Russians basically kidnapped them. They arrested them and said, "Okay, well, if you want, you can go to prison for 10 years. Thank you, Frankie. Or you can serve in our military in Ukraine, and then we'll let you go." So they agreed to sign up for the military. They've been doing this to men from Sri Lanka. They've been doing this to men from Cuba. They've been doing this to men from a number of African countries. And they've also been, one of the things they've been doing, thank you, Norway, the Russians have been lying and pretending, thank you, Eileen, Anna, and Frankie as well for the gifts. The Russians have been lying and telling these men coming from these developing countries that there are jobs awaiting them in Russia. Thank you, Cloud, for the gifts, because they're from poorer countries, even countries that are poorer than Russia, and they're coming to Russia for jobs. And they have literally, when the guys come there, again, they kidnap them and they force them to join the Russian military. What is particularly interesting to me with this story is Russia told the Indians told the Russia last year, 8 months ago. Putin met with the Indian leader, Modi, and he was it the prime minister, I think, from India? Is it a prime minister? I think it's a prime minister. But with Modi, and Modi told him, the Indian leader, "You need to let our guys go now." And Putin promised he would do it. He didn't do it. And India is so important economically to Russia right now with the sanctions, and frankly, a big important country. And the Russians still are so desperate for men that they're hanging on to that. I mean, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. And that one, I can't recall. That one might have been from the Kyiv Independent. It may have been. Yep. Basically, I get a lot of stuff from Kyiv Independent, a lot of stuff from Sky News, New York Times as well. This could have been Sky, but I think this is probably Kyiv Independent. Probably, yes. I didn't mean to not give them credit. Germany is going to deploy Patriot missiles at a key hub in Poland for aid to Ukraine, which is good. Kind of scary at the same time that NATO is worried about basically Russia doing something to attack basically a depot in Poland that's helping Ukraine. That's kind of an act of war if they were to attack it, but kind of scary. And finally, a top aide from Russia, or top Putin aide, Patrushev, who's one of the guys that's been taught. Is it Nikolai? I'm trying to remember his first name. Is it Nikolai? Anybody remember Patrushev's first name? But he is a top aide, a top advisor to Putin. He's one of the people who's talked about as being a possible successor to Putin if Putin ever steps down or dies or whatever. And he said this week that Ukraine and Moldova may cease to exist this year entirely, adding that the Kremlin will only discuss Ukraine's fate with Trump. What is interesting about that is it gives you a sense of where the Russians are coming. There you go, Manda. Thank you. It gives you a sense of where the Russians are coming from. They're talking genocidally about Ukraine. I mean, they're talking about wiping it off the map, which we've been saying from the beginning. Very screwed up. Anyway, all right, that is it for the news. Let's hang out and chat. As I said, please do follow me on YouTube because we may not be here in 5 days, guys. YouTube is John Aravosis DC. Manda, there we go. Manda's comment is pinned to the top of the page. So do check that out. Moving this down a little bit. And the Discorders never got back to me, which is making me wonder if they can hear or whether they're all there kind of just watching me. At least YouTube can hear and TikTok can hear, so that's good. Thank you, Ward, for the gift. Thank you, Douglas, for the gift on YouTube. Appreciate that. But yeah, please do follow me on YouTube. Other social media is good too. I've got a Substack as well, and I'm considering linking the Substack with my Discord. Discord's kind of the main place that we tend to sort of have people hang out. So if you can, Discord's not a bad place to sort of join as well, just to stay in touch with me and everybody else. So anyway, all right, guys. So let's hang and talk. maybe not talk about Rednote since everyone freaked out. Oh my God. I'm going to miss you not sending, or I'm going to miss you sending gifts as well, Flower Lady. I really appreciate your support. I don't think Ukraine's made any progress this week that we know of. Well, that's not true. There was a big push over the last week. Ukraine did a big counteroffensive in Kursk. Initially looked like it was going well, and then then not as well, I think. So it's not clear. It's not clear. Thank you, PPF, that Ukraine's had any real advancements. Now, they did just hit really far. Really, they did just hit the Russians pretty hard with a lot of drones and missiles last night, which was good. But is Trump going to follow through on the threats? Which threats, Smug? He's made a lot of them. Can he be impeached? He will not be impeached because Republicans control the House and the Senate. You need, at least in the Senate, in the House, I think you need a majority in the House. And in the Senate, do you need 60? I'm forgetting how many votes or 2/3 in the Senate I think you need to convict. So it's not going to happen. Yeah. Thank you, Ward. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's not going to happen. And Tioja, I'm going to say, or Tioja for the rose. Thank you. Yeah, he's talking about more 2/3 in the Senate, 67. Okay. But in the House, it's a simple majority, I believe. The hearing, yeah, there was a hearing today, Kevin. I did not see it. The hearing for Trump's Defense Department nominee, Brett, or is it Brett? What's his name? Hegseth? No, Peter Hegseth, who's the, moving you around. Peter Hegseth, who's the Fox News host who Trump nominated to be our defense secretary. Yeah, brilliant. And he made some obnoxious comment about Hegseth did today that he was basically, it's time we had a Secretary of Defense who's actually been a soldier. And it was like, yeah, actually, Lloyd Austin was a General Austin. Lloyd Austin was ran a war, and what's his name too? The Republican who we like, the oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. The former Republican senator, help me out, guys. He was also a former soldier as well. Very conservative Republican senator, New Hampshire, maybe. Forgetting his name. Who got picked under Obama? Nope, Secretary of Defense. He was picked as Secretary of Defense. Chuck Hagel. That was it. Chuck Hagel. Are they taking away Social Security? There are real concerns about Republicans possibly cutting Social Security and Medicare to Trump. We don't know. We hope they don't, because we hope they're too afraid to do it, because typically that gets them into a lot of trouble. But Nebraska, you're right, Bob. That's it. He was Nebraska. You're right. But the Republicans have previously indicated that nothing is off the table, which is very concerning. Now, they may do things like they may raise the age for retirement to Social Security, which they've done before, which I hope they don't do. They may do a lot of things. I mean, what people are saying is they pretty much need to raise the tax on rich people, because there's a limit. You guys have looked at for before. Was it 180,000 or something? I'm forgetting the exact limit. Somebody out there will remember that your salary up to around 180,000 is taxed for Social Security to give money into Social Security, and anything you make above 180,000 or so is not taxed at all for Social Security. And a lot of people are saying, well, with regular taxes, you've got to pay on all the extra money, right? Your taxes don't stop. Like when you make more than 180,000, it's not like the rest of that money's tax-free. Why wouldn't we do the same with Social Security? I mean, why wouldn't we just let the tax continue? If you make 200,000, 300,000, then you pay part of that's tax for Social Security. So that's one solution. But thank you, Jens. Appreciate that. He's crazy. He's crazy. Hello, Tina in Denmark. I promise. Well, I was going to say I promise we're not going to invade, but that's not a promise I can make. I promise Democrats aren't going to attack Denmark. Can't promise much about Trump, sadly. Thank you, Dave, for the rose. Thank you, Funny. Funny Tech Guy says 2025 limit is $176,100. So basically, any money more than that you make, you don't pay Social Security. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Dave, as well. And hi, Jen in Puerto Rico. Hey, Melissa. How do I subscribe over on YouTube? I think you use I don't know, actually. Is it the $sign at the bottom? I'm guessing. Maybe one of the other YouTubers can tell Melissa how people become subscribers over there. Now, that's not a bad idea, actually. It might not be a terrible idea to move your subscription. If you're on YouTube and you subscribe, a paying subscriber, moving your subscription from TikTok to YouTube is not a bad idea. Just saying. So, yeah, Sarah, the lip thing got out of sync a couple of minutes ago and never came back. We tried to fix it, but it can't be fixed without killing the live. Thank you, Randy Fred. Thank you, KT. So, yes, you are not the only one having that problem now, unfortunately. So sorry. Oh, man. Oh, la, 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 la. Oh boy. So what else, guys? Yeah, you can wait till Monday. And again, we're going to see what happens with the TikTok ban. It's not clear that TikTok will stop working. It may work. It may work for a couple of weeks. It may work for a couple of months. I mean, yeah. Allet lifts. There was a story in Bloomberg last night that the Chinese were discussing selling TikTok to Elon. They were not suggesting yet that Elon was interested, but they were suggesting that the Chinese might be interested in selling TikTok. I should say TikTok America, not TikTok overall, but TikTok's American operations to Elon Musk. I think that would be a disaster. I'm also not sure what kind of funding he'd get, because who's going to pitch into that? I mean, Elon's already lost. Hi, Sasha. Elon's already lost a ton of money on Twitter for YouTube and Discord. Sasha's hiding here on the bottom. There we go. My dog came here to whine. Oops, I was trying to give you guys a little peek. There she is. Sasha wants attention. So I hear you, my love, but we're kind of in the middle of broadcasting right now. I can't help you right now. I can in a little bit, but not right now. But yes, so was it a false rumor? I hope to God, Danielle. I hope to God. Bloomberg's a pretty credible news source, though, but I hope it was wrong. Mr. Beast wants to buy it. Can he, though? I'm expecting TikTok's America would be pretty expensive. Thank you, Becky. I mean, YouTube was 44 billion or so. I would think TikTok would be a similar value, ByteDance said it's not real good, hopefully. Has TikTok America, has anybody seen any valuation of what they're even putting for Elon's a liberal idiot? He was a liberal idiot. Now he's a conservative idiot. Yeah. Yeah. Close, though. Hi, Sasha. I know. Hi. I know. I'm not playing with you right now, though. We even did a long walk with Damien today. What are you doing? She's acting like I haven't been giving her attention. Thank you, Marge, for the gifts. Well, that correction, Brandy, or I should say correct. Brandy is saying the algorithm wouldn't be included. I can't imagine TikTok selling the algorithm. I would imagine they wouldn't do that, which is like the guts. It's the secret sauce that tells the program what you like, what you don't like, that kind of stuff. Kevin O'Leary, what is happening with Kevin O'Leary, Daryl, is there is a billionaire, I'm forgetting his name. He runs, what is it, some Liberty something foundation or something, but some like internet freedom guy who wants to buy TikTok, and somehow affiliated with this is Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, and another guy. But I don't know that. I don't know whether he's putting money or how he's involved. But the main guy is this billionaire. Google says TikTok America. Is it TikTok America, Swifty, or TikTok is valued at 84 billion? What time in America? Depends where in America, Tina. I am in Washington. Oh, thank you for the gift, Randy. I'm in Washington, D.C., where it is 7:19 in the evening. And remember, here in the U.S., we don't do 24-hour time. So 7:19, which would be what, 19:19 for you guys in Europe? But we say 7:19 here. So TikTok International was valued at 300 billion 2 years ago. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it would be a disaster if Elon bought it. Absolute disaster. Yes, indeed. Oh, but as I said, we still don't know what's going to actually happen. Canadian buying TikTok, didn't hear about that. Yeah, I worry about that too, Crit. We don't know. I don't know about the guy's politics. I Googled, and at least the initial Google I had on the guy sounded like he was reasonably, like he was pro freedom and wasn't necessarily a fascist. So Mr. Beast, yeah, he wants it for 50 billion. Does he have that kind of money? Well, I guess you'd finance it and everything else. I mean, I wouldn't mind somebody buying it, but I want it to be somebody who's like politically independent and not play political games with it. That'd be my concern. So Beast has a net worth of 1 billion. Well, and I mean, you get financing for it anyway. You get financing for it. Neptune, you mean the planet or the Ukrainian missile? Or something else entirely. I never actually had heard of Mr. Beast until this week. I didn't even know who the guy was. Oh, there's an app called Neptune? I don't even know that. What's that about? Because there's also a Ukrainian cruise missile called Neptune as well. I thought that's what you were talking about. I'm like, I haven't heard much about the cruise missile recently. I don't even know about the app. No, I've never heard of it. Don't know. I mean, the problem is Clapper. I signed up on Clapper. It was really weird. Like I told you, it was a lot of like weird sex joke videos. I was not impressed at the videos it was bringing up. But I mean, honestly, YouTube is the most obvious place to go. For folks, as I said, I think it would be smart to follow me on YouTube just to be safe. It's John Aravosis DC at YouTube. Also, wouldn't hurt to go to my profile on TikTok, click the Linktree link, and follow me on a few socials just to be safe, because we may be here on Sunday, but we may not be. We don't know. We just don't know. It's up for grabs. Oh, I know YouTube isn't as practical, Jack, but we may not be here on Sunday. There may not be a choice. Thank you, Blue Ariel. Yep, top of the screen on TikTok, you've got my YouTube info. Hey, Destiny, on YouTube. Good to see you there. What else, guys? What else? Well, TikTok is getting banned in the U.S. on Sunday. So we don't know what the impact will be. We don't know if TikTok will just stop working. We just don't know. Et alors, je dois parler français pourquoi, papi? What's that about? Trump, the thing is, Trump tried to kill TikTok 3 times when he was president, but Trump then met with a top Republican donor who is an investor in ByteDance, which is the parent company, and changed his mind. The donor probably promised him something, but that's good. I'm glad. The Trump may try to help, but we're not sure whether he can. It's not clear. He might be able to postpone the ban for 3 months. Excuse me. He might be able to postpone the ban for 3 months. He may not be. Legislation is confusing about that. Even if he does propose it for 3 months. Now, I think Trump is going to try to get Congress to repeal the ban, but I don't know if he's going to get away with that. I mean, Democrats and Republicans both are not big fans of TikTok. It's not extending the ban for 270 days. They had 270 days to sell TikTok, and then the ban goes into place. But there's a provision in the legislation that says, the ban legislation that says the president can delay the ban for another 90 days. The problem is, Sasha, I hear you, but I'm like, we're still kind of doing the show here. What do you want me to do? But there's a provision that says he can delay it 90 days. Biden could, correct. It's not clear if Trump can, because it basically says extend the 270-day period before the ban goes into effect. But once the ban goes into effect, you can't extend a period that's over. It's over. So legislatively, it's not clear whether Trump has the power to delay the ban. Biden does. I think it would be wise of Biden to delay it a little bit, so Trump can kind of, thanks, Massimo. So Trump can maybe have a chance at saving it, but who knows, There's a new bill for a 240-day stay. The thing is, there's a Democrat who offered legislation, at least. Senator Markey, exactly. The problem is, I don't know if it's going to pass. I mean, Republicans, I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to pass. I don't know if it's going to pass. Republicans and Democrats are pretty united in being anti-TikTok. I just don't know. Trump will lean on the Republicans, I think. Biden is in favor of TikTok being TikTok America being shut down or sold. Yes. Everybody was until Trump met with a rich donor and changed his mind. Trump tried to shut TikTok down 3 times when Trump was president. And then he met with a rich Republican donor who invests in ByteDance, the parent company, and Trump changed his mind. So I'm glad Trump's on board now, but he did it because he met with a rich guy and, but he might not be able to unban it. That's the problem, Doug. Yeah. Legislatively, it's not clear. Now, they can unban it with legislation, but they'd have to do that. I know Sasha's citing should be at least a new square on the Aravosis report bingo card at the very least, Jason. Exactly. Do you think it's because stock ownership and Senate of Meta? No. In the U.S., China is not well loved in the U.S. And I don't mean culturally. I mean the Chinese government, Communist Party, dictatorship. Way more. Melissa, you did it. There you are. Woo-woo. Melissa's now a subscriber on YouTube. Thank you, Melissa. China is the Republicans hate China, basic bottom line. Democrats don't love China. Republicans really hate China because of the Communist Party of China thing. Therefore, it is particularly difficult for Trump to try to repeal the legislation because Democrats really don't like China. Republicans hate China. It's going to be harder with Republicans. Now, having said that, the Republicans tend to do what Trump wants. If Trump says repeal the ban, will they do it? Maybe, right? Maybe. Exactly. The Picard maneuver. Yeah, we'll see. This is very up for grabs. I think, Trump, what I'm hoping happens, not hope, is if TikTok gets banned on Sunday, in the US, that on Monday Trump is able to delay it somehow. That's my hope. And Ben, I can't answer the question of is TikTok a U.S. security threat, because that is a question that I don't think people can give honest answers on TikTok. So that is, unfortunately, TikTok is very heavy-handed with censoring, unfortunately. So that I would not be comfortable answering questions like that on TikTok, unfortunately, which, I don't want TikTok banned, but TikTok is very heavy-handed with censoring. Morals, the problem is changing your country gets confusing because then you'd have to change your country's app store. And if you change your country's app store on your phone, you could get into all sorts of trouble with apps that you lose, banking apps. A friend of mine, actually Callum was telling me, because Callum dealt with this with being from Scotland and visiting the US and stuff. It got really screwed up. My Star Trek space station has gone. I'm not sure what you mean. You mean this? It's there. Stop. You mean Deep Space John? It does look like Deep Space Nine, actually, if that's what you mean. Is that what you mean, Jeff? That's actually very funny. I never thought of that. We'll call it Deep Space John. I like that, which is our in the know joke for Trekkies. Hi. You're okay. All right. But the dog is getting very well, because I was leaning back, so I kind of pushed this way a little bit. Although you can see it in the reflection, though. Oh, ooh la la. Hi. Oh my God, the dog just wants me to keep petting here. No need to change App Store for travel, though. Correct. That's why we're saying, like, when you travel, you don't change the App Store because you're still in the American App Store. If you change app stores, it could screw things up. Otherwise, it could screw up your banking apps. It could screw up lots of stuff. So you'd have to talk to somebody who's like, a real tech expert on ways of getting around the ban and stuff. Whether a VPN even works. It depends. Yeah, Callum says losing banking apps. Trust me. Yeah. Interestingly enough, that the banking apps, which is kind of weird though, because Callum, wouldn't there be Americans who use Scottish banks or something? I mean, maybe. I don't quite understand that. Or is it literally if you are based in another country, you're not allowed to access Scottish banks online or banking apps in general? Maybe. I mean, I know that works for retirement plans that way. For example, Vanguard and Fidelity and everybody, you can't, if you have a retirement plan with them, you're not allowed to buy in. Like, I think you can sell for cash, like to cash out, but otherwise you're not allowed to do trades if you are based abroad. So if you're living in Europe and you've got a Vanguard retirement account or whatever, you're not allowed to do trades on Vanguard. So like people who go abroad, it really screws, like who decide to live abroad, it really screws things up for them too. Interesting. Chuck says there's a couple big battlers on TikTok who are changing their VPN to Canada. Well, maybe. As Callum said, he found that it can really screw up the applications, the apps that you have downloaded. So, so I'm getting close to switching my phone plan. And I found that I was looking at T-Mobile, and I'm kind of divided here because the T-Mobile plan I'm looking at is still $60, including fees and taxes. And it seems like a lot to me because everyone talks about having your plan be in the $40 range. So I was a little annoyed about that. Having said that, T-Mobile will give me like $830 for my phone, and they're going to give me another $300 to buy off my contract with Verizon, which is a lot. That comes to, if it were over a 2-year period, that would come to like $47. So I'm very sort of confused as to what to do, but I'm currently paying $97 with Verizon. So $67 with T-Mobile would be huge. And $67 would include the senior discount, would include getting a new phone, an iPhone 16 Pro for $67. So I'm kind of like, so I don't know, but everybody here says I should be getting $40, $45 for the plan. Well, correct, Gunther, but that's still not bad. I mean, no, T-Mobile would give me $300 in cash to buy off my plan that I still owe on Verizon, and then the rest of it would be over 2 years, which is not bad. 2 years isn't bad. Three devices saved $120 a month. Phone issues? What does that mean, Doug? Yeah, not including the phone, it's $60 for the plan. So I'm kind of like, I just don't know. Oh, in the DC area, phone issues. What do phone issues mean? Are you saying reception issues, or what do you mean? No, the price is really good, $97. That's just outrageous. Outrageous. Oh, interesting. T-Mobile isn't great on the Virginia side of the area. Oh, that's interesting. Dropped calls. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Interesting. I'm still not paying $97 anymore for Verizon, and I wanted to wait because I wanted to get the new iPhone next year when the AI is better. But, what do you do? Now, are you liking Cricket, Ryan? I was looking at Cricket as well. Cricket has got like some ridiculous pay a year in advance and $23 a month for unlimited or something. I'm not using T-Mobile right now. No. You lowered your T-Mobile plan from 30 to 15? How? Oh, interesting. Slappy's hating the plan they've got on T-Mobile. That's interesting. Interesting. Huh. Everything, it is expensive. I don't recommend the other plans. Okay, Claudia is in Arlington and it's working good for her. My cable and internet, I simply called Comcast and I said I want internet only. So my internet plan went from I had cable TV and internet, $270 a month. I said, I don't want cable TV anymore. I just want internet. And when looking at the internet plan, I had a better plan than I needed. So I went and I said, okay, lower my plan to, it basically lowered my download speeds, but my download speeds were at 500 and they got lowered to 300. That's still more than enough. My TV is perfect. I have a new TV and it's perfect. 65-inch TV, 300 is more than enough. For the show I do with you guys, upload speeds matter. I was at 100 and I'm still at 100 upload. So I was able to knock my plan down from $270 a month with cable and with TV and internet to $65 a month with internet only. And I bought my own router and my own modem for $140 combined and got it to work. So now I'm paying $65 a month. YouTube TV is $82 a month. But with YouTube TV, I've got everything. I've got CNN, I've got sci-fi. I love it. And the quality is fabulous. So my total bill is like 82 plus 65, 147, 150 instead of 270. So that's 120 a month I'm saving on my bill now, for cable TV and internet. So that makes me feel good. But yeah, I mean, the Cricket has got like some unlimited plan that if you pay a year in advance, it's $23 a month. And I was like, oh my God, that would be huge, absolutely huge. But I don't know. Dog wants more water. 1 second, one moment. All right, dog, I'm coming. All right. So yeah, I'm having a little bit of a crisis here. Again, T-Mobile is offering $830 for my phone and $300 to pay off the money I still owe Comcast, which is or Verizon, which is $300. So that's over $1,100 they'd be giving me, which on a monthly basis, let's say it was over 2 years, that's $47 a month difference. That's huge, absolutely huge. So I'm I don't know. As I said, I still feel like 67 is a lot. I mean, the thing is, a lot of you guys don't like T-Mobile, but I know a lot of other people who say T-Mobile's been great. Ting isn't a thing here, German made, is it? I've never heard of Ting. The ones that have the best ratings are T-Mobile, Consumer Cellular, Cricket, and maybe something else. Mint is okay. I don't remember if Mint has one of the Mint. There was something I didn't like about their plans. I've got it in my notes what my deal was, but hey Dawn, hey Dawn, but it's not showing you subscribed over here yet. Well, actually, yeah, it's still showing you as gray, but we shall see. I know. I like his ads for Mint as well, too. I agree. T-Mobile only works in the city. Google, again, the reviews weren't as good for Google. I don't know. Ugh. Yeah. You only had T-Mobile problems in remote U.S. Defense Secretary. I just briefly, Hellianne. We talked about it briefly. The Defense Secretary hearing. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, I'm having like some issues here. I've got to decide soon what I'm doing about my phone, so I should stop. But it's either stop. Oh my God, stop. Please, for the love of God. Jesus. But yeah, Consumer Cellular, Cricket, and T-Mobile all had great reviews for consumer satisfaction and everything else. So thank you, Bernsey. But the best deal, well, T-Mobile's more expensive, but they offer a way better deal in terms of the trade-in value and the phone itself. I'm sorry, $300. They're going to pay off my Comcast bill, which is $300 up front like that, which is my contract, I should say. So I don't know. Xfinity, I mean, I think because I was been using them for everything else, I'm not thrilled about them. And I don't know if they're offering the same. I don't know if you're, well, that's true. Priority in congested areas. That's a good point, Slappy. Yeah. Thanks, Marge. Thanks, Bernsey. Because being in DC, right? I don't know, guys. I mean, I just don't know. Thanks, Darian. You know, the thing is, I'm usually here. I'm usually not traveling that much. So it's kind of like it has to end when I'm here anyway. I'm using my my Wi-Fi, you know? Oh, interesting. Okay, Paula. Yeah. Okay, got her contract. You have a T-Mobile plan with 5 gigs of data, unlimited talk and text for $15. Got it on their website. Wow. That cheap? I didn't even see anything that cheap. Wow. AT&T. Interesting. Interesting. $15. Jesus Christ. And the thing is, I don't really use more than 5 gigs a month of data because I'm not traveling usually. Usually I'm at home and I'm on my Wi-Fi. That's what makes this so confusing. It's so confusing. Like I said, consumer cellular is cheaper, but with the deal they're giving me on the phone and paying off my Verizon, it's a pretty damn good deal, at least for a few years with T-Mobile. Again, if it works. Correct. I think the other plans don't include the buyback. Right. Well, buyback meaning which buyback? You mean buying back your phone or paying off Verizon for my remaining plan? $33 gigs on your phone? I've never done that. I always use about 3 gigs a month. I don't even know how I do that. You know. Anyway, I've got to decide. Like I said, it's kind of difficult because $60 a month plan, although it's $60 a month with taxes and fees, which means it's a $55 plan or $53 plan, whatever. Still seems like a lot because everyone else is paying in the 40s. And it is true. Cricket and Consumer Cellular offer plans that are in the 25. Well, just the one Cricket one is pretty crazy. Unlimited for $23 a month. I was like, oh my God. If you pay a year in advance, you know. So I don't know. I'm paying 97 right now. So I'm kind of like, you know, I'm tempted to go with T-Mobile, get the new phone. I know it's a deal for the next 2 years because of the trade-in and the paying off my Verizon. It's a pretty damn good deal. That comes to like, I think I figured it out, like $47 that they're giving me. So it makes the plan much cheaper that way. You know, I'm getting the iPhone, you know, for $100, I'm getting a $1,000 iPhone. You know, that's pretty good. Oh, Solnichka, you work for T-Mobile? That's funny. You know, so wow, 130 for 5 lines with Cricket. Wow. And it works well, Brianna? Interesting. I don't know. And again, it's not the end of the world. I still think maybe I'll switch Bitcoin. Yeah, TikTok doesn't like us talking about those things, Ruben, unfortunately. So I'm not going to get into that. I would love to talk about it, but not here. Not here. What is O2? Is that some phone company thing? I don't know. I've never heard of it. Here in the States, at least. Gail. Oh, because you're at T-Mobile. Well, I mean, what the woman had told me was $60 for the Go 2G or something like that plan, something like that. And it would be $60 a month. And then the trade-in for my phone is $830 for an iPhone 14 Pro and $300 or so that I still owe on my plan on Verizon. Solnichka. So she was saying, you know, they'd buy off my plan for $300. I'd get $830 for my phone. And then I'd get the $60 a month plan, which would be $67 because that's the amount that the phone, for the next 2 years, it would be 67 because that pays off the phone. So can you do better than that? If so, reach out to me and to let me know. I don't know if you're on Discord or what's the easiest way to reach out. You could try TikTok. TikTok, I don't always see messages, but you can try. But if you could, I'm very tempted to do T-Mobile. It just seemed a little pricey, for the plan compared to everybody. I even called my nephew, who's he's been T-Mobile forever, and he's like, it ought to be in the 40s. He felt, but you're on Discord. Okay, thank you, Celine. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. No, because I had a good talk. I'm tempted because, as I said, they seem to offer a good deal on the phone because I've got the 14 Pro iPhone, and I still got a year left on my Verizon, which I think is $300, which they would pay, which is great. It was just, we're looking at that $60 plan, and it, $60 including fees. Reach out. Thank you. I appreciate you looking into it. Yay. I just was mentioning it overall because, like I said, I was so excited. I got my cable bill down. I pulled the plug. Instead of paying $270, I'm now paying $65 plus $82 for YouTube TV, which is $147, right? Yeah, $147 instead of $270. So I'm saving $122 a month, $123 a month. If I got a phone from Canada, can I keep TikTok? That's very funny. I'd have to have a Canadian. That's a funny question. I don't know. Getting a Canadian phone carrier and using it in the U.S. That's pretty funny. I don't know. That is funny. Yeah, my friend Damien has Magenta too, John. I don't think it exists anymore. They phased it, like it exists for you because you already have it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for the advice, guys. Because as I said, I'm gonna do this soon though, because I want to leave Verizon just $97 a month. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And Lady Love hates T-Mobile. I don't know what to tell you. Again, overall, consumer satisfaction is pretty good with T-Mobile, even though I know a lot of you guys are not liking them. And I got family members who've been using them for decades and like them. But my Verizon, it works well, but honestly, they're thieves. I'm just not going to stay. Hey, Terrence. It's just ridiculous what they're charging. Xfinity, the problem is Xfinity's got to give me a deal. And I don't think Xfinity's offering a deal for the phone, and certainly not the buyback, I don't think. 60 is the same price that T-Mobile is offering with taxes and fees, and then $7 more for the phone. You can't find the plan you have on T-Mobile's site. That's interesting. Oh, the 5G plan. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. No, like I said, mine's too expensive, so I'm not. Have I ever made it? I don't think I've ever made a peach cobbler. I like peaches, though. I've never made a peach cobbler. I would. But yeah, I just feel cheated by Verizon, so I don't want to. And Comcast, there are the other ones too. Like Comcast is just so expensive. I don't like them. I feel like everything's a game with them of how they can charge you more and more. So I'd consider the cell phone, but I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Had to complain to the FCC to recover some of 3 years of payments on an insured phone. Oh, that T-Mobile said wasn't insured. That's interesting. No baked cookies? I don't even know what those are. Bake Hawk. People are talking food now. Smug Chip wants to talk about making Japanese curry. I know. I'll be sad if TikTok goes away too. Hopefully not. Anyway, let's see, guys. I still think I'm heading towards T-Mobile, but we'll see. As I said, otherwise it's consumer cellular or Cricket at this point. Thanks, Eileen. Ooh, wow. Your phone plan is only £10? That's what, like 13, 14 bucks? Jesus. After taxes. Jesus Christ. Wow. Not here. Not here. Will all our saved recipes disappear if the US goes dark? I don't know what's going to happen with the account and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, and TikTok's not, maybe TikTok doesn't really know kind of what comes next, you know, after the ban. We're going to find out. So, yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But again, the only thing is those other carriers are like even more minor carriers, like consumer. Although Cricket, I know Cricket's for old people. People like it though, you know. I mean, yeah, I had a French plan that was like 20 euros a month, unlimited cell plan years ago, and free calls to America, and I was like, oh my god, I mean, insane that plan, insanely cheap. But you know, that's Europe. What do you do? Land of competition, seems. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it quits. It's 7. We've been doing this in almost 2 hours now. So, you know, let's see. All right. All right. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining us, guys. Good night, everybody. Discord, not tonight. No. So let's maybe try Discord tomorrow. I mean, I've been going an hour and 50 minutes. We're not going to hang out now. But anyway, thank you guys. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for hanging out. As I said, please do follow me on YouTube just to be safe. John Aravosis DC on YouTube, you know, so we don't disappear forever. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, US tomorrow. So do check me out then. Wait until you're using Google Maps and T-Mobile leads you into cell hell. Oh, God. Don't scare me. I don't know what to do. Don't do this to me. Discord next week if TikTok is gone? Well, yeah, exactly. And hopefully Discord, the sound works next week because God knows why that's being a pain, but it is. But we shall see. All right. I'm going to sign off, guys. Thank you all. Good to see you. All right. Greg finds T-Mobile fine. A lot of people do find T-Mobile fine, but clearly some people don't like it. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that feedback. All right. All right, guys.